So you have learned the basics of the F# syntax and its strong type system, but you don't know how to start gaining practical experience? Here's my favorite approach to start practicing any new language or technology. Tip number 61. Don't use manual procedures. A shell script or batch file will execute the same instructions in the same order time after time. This is one of my favorite tips from the famous book The Pragmatic Programmer by Andrew Hunt and Dave Thomas. For me, automating my daily work is not only a key ingredient for high productivity, but it's also a great opportunity to experiment with something new. And F# is a perfect fit for tooling because of its scripting capabilities. Let's jump right into a quite common use case for scripting: parsing a log file. This log file is from one of my projects where we noticed that recently these files got quite big. The first analysis shows that some components are logging quite a lot. So let's parse the file and find out how much lines each component produces. I have already created a new file using the file extension fsx for F# scripts. Let's start by opening the system and the system.io namespace. Now let's fetch the log file to parse from the command line arguments. Next, let's copy one line of the log file for reference. I start parsing the file by reading all the lines. And then I use the pipe operator to pipe these lines into a sequence of functions for further processing. First, I want to split each line into tokens. Therefore, I use the sequence module and the map function. From these tokens, we want to have first, second, third, the fourth token. So let's use sequence module.map again and grab token number 4. Now let's use the group by function of the sequence module to group all same tokens together. Now let's map each group into a tuple of the token itself and the number of occurrences. Finally, let's sort this list by the count of each token and then print the result. Okay, that's it. To run this script, let's open a new terminal and simply type .NET FSI for F# scripting. Then we pass the name of the script and the name of the log file. Let's run the script and check the output. Okay, almost perfect. We just forgot to cut off the trailing colon. So let's do this. Now let's run the script again. Okay, we are done. We can now see which component produces most of the log lines. And that's all what we need to get the task automated. No project setup is needed. And we still get the full power of .NET and the support of the IDE like syntax highlighting and IntelliSense. Even basic refactoring tools are available for F# scripts, like renaming a variable. But can we also use NuGet packages in F# scripts? Let's say we want to address the excessive logging to the component responsibles. Then a chart would be great to convince them that some action is needed. In order to reference any external library in F# scripts, we use the R directive. And we use the NuGet prefix to reference a NuGet package. Notice that the version number is optional. Next, let's open the respective namespace. And now we can use this NuGet package to plot a chart. We use the unzip function of the list module to convert the list of tuples into two lists of separate values. Let's pipe this result into a custom function, which takes those two lists. And here we use the NuGet library to create and plot the chart. That's it. Let's run the script again. And here's our chart. Awesome. Another quite common use case for scripting is searching a codebase and generating a list of matching files for further processing. Like in this case. Here we search for a particular reference in a C# project, but only in particular C# projects. Of course, I could simply use my IDE for such tasks, but there might be good reasons to go for a small F# script instead, which are: I want to repeat the task from time to time, or I want to share exact same procedure with others in my team, or I want to avoid errors by eliminating possible manual post-processing of the IDE search output. And here's a pro tip. Once you have successfully automated a task, keep the script in a small dedicated Git repository for reference in case you want to automate a similar task later on again. How did you automate small tasks in your daily business until now? And will you consider using F# for the next task to be automated? Leave a comment below the video.